everybody, and welcome back to my channel. It has been a while since I filmed, and I do apologize. There's been like so much going on and just trying to find the time and balance things, and being a busy mom, it gets a little crazy and it gets a little stressful, but I definitely wanted to film for you guys today. So basically, I wanted to just go right into it. I picked up the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation, and I've seen this on other people. I've seen it on Instagram. I know it's been around for a really long time, but I don't always have the latest and greatest products, and you'll see that on my channel. I tend to discover things like a year behind everybody else, but I just go with the flow. And not to mention too, I was kind of more of like a prestige brand snob for a little while, where I was going through like the prestige phase, so everything had to be kind of like Lancome and Urban Decay and MAC and this and that. But long story short, I wanted to give this a whirl. I've heard good things about it. It says it's medium to full coverage, and that it's lightweight, oil-free, long-wearing, water-resistant, and sweat-proof. It says that you can do both with it, foundation and concealer, so that's pretty awesome. I mean, to me, it reminds me a lot of the vibe of the Clinique Beyond Perfecting, which is a prestige brand, and I think I paid probably $9 for this versus I think $27 for the Clinique. So I'm going to use a sample of the mineral primer from Hourglass Cosmetics, which is one of my favorites, and I got this sample on my birthday and I love it because it just like lasts forever. Moving on, we're going to put this on. I debated on whether or not to put it on with a brush first or what. I'm going to work with the Beauty Blender from Morphe, like a beauty sponge, and see how it goes. Hopefully it'll be a decent amount of coverage. So hopefully this color will not oxidize, because right now, without really like going into natural lighting, but looking within the lights that I have here and a little bit of daylight, it looks like it's a really good match to my skin color. So I'm hoping it won't turn too much. We'll see. And the coverage is really, really good. Like I'm actually amazed, because I don't know, can you guys see, like, it's really a lot of coverage. Amazing. I'm amazed actually. So my skin feels good with the first initial application. I sometimes get sensitive skin, or I can even get reactive skin, just because I lately have very dry, sensitive skin. So I'm not feeling anything instantly, nothing itching or feeling too uncomfortable, no like harsh fragrance to it. So far so good. I'm gonna go and apply it on the rest of my face, and we'll see how it sets with concealers and all that fun stuff. Okay guys, so the foundation has been on right now for about 5 minutes, and looking at it, it really hasn't done like a crazy amount of oxidation. It did oxidize to a little bit of yellow, like it's starting to set now more with a yellow undertone, but I do have neutral skin, so I kind of went with a light beige, which I thought had a little more yellow in it to tone down some of the redness that I've had in my skin. But either way, I kind of go a little warm and a little cool, so I'm kind of more in the middle, my undertone. So just know your undertone, and as bad as it is, try to, you know, open the bottle and see what it's like inside and the color, because like I say, it's hard to tell with drugstores, and I really wish drugstores would hop on the bandwagon of testers, because I use a mixture of an e.l.f. concealer, and if I can find it, I would like to use my high definition concealer from NYX. So anyway, this is the NYX High Definition Studio Concealer in Fair. And then this is an e.l.f. Under Eye Highlighter and Concealer Duo. And I think it's in Light. Yeah, it's in Light Glow. So I'm just going to kind of mix the two colors since this has a little bit of like a peachy tone in it, the e.l.f. product. And I'm like almost out of this, you guys. I love this. I use this on my lips a lot, this concealer. And this has much more of a fair, light, almost yellow tone to it. So we're just going to mix the two to give it a more neutral finish. And the NYX I really love, I have to say. It's just a great product. And it really stays put for me, especially when you set it. For setting powders today, I'm going to use my Laura Mercier because that's just my favorite, but I'm going to try to stick with mostly drugstore. Okay, so I'm just going to spritz a little bit of Maria Badescu just to make it easier to blend, and that's almost gone. And then we're going to take a little bit of a concealer brush. This is my fluffy concealer, and start by buffing out a little bit with our brush. And then I like to go in at the end with my beauty blender. The concealer step, and I'm also going to take now this kind of highlighting cream that's in the e.l.f. concealer and just add a few drops of that underneath and kind of onto the high point of my cheekbone and down my nose, just to add a little bit of a glow on top of the concealer before we set it with powder. And there's not a whole lot of color to this, but it definitely gives a nice soft glow. And I have to say, for I think it's like $3 or $4 the product, you cannot go wrong, you guys. You need to get you some e.l.f. I'm going to be using their under eye brightener too at the end. I like to use the under eye brightener on top of my Laura Mercier powder just because it's not quite enough power to, this is what it looks like if you know what I'm talking about. It's not quite enough power to unfortunately set the eye without cracking and creasing, but it works really well on top of a good setting powder to just give you a nice bright under eye, if that makes sense. So now that that is set, what I want to do is go in with Laura Mercier translucent powder and just set our face. So I'm going to use a Real Technique sponge for that. Want to make an appearance on camera, babe? There's my boo thing. He's such a dork. Aw, it's so cute. Alright, so I've already dampened this sponge and I'm just going to spritz it one more time because I can't spritz enough, basically. So I'm going to dip this sponge now into the Laura Mercier, and looking up, I'm going to apply this underneath my eyes first to set this concealer. And now my crazy dog is here too, if you can hear him in the background. We're having a party. Okay, so let's bake these babies up, and then I'm also going to take this and press it all over. Ooh, what is that? Okay guys, so now that we've had the powder on, the translucent powder, for about 5 minutes, obviously we're like cutting through time here on the video, but I generally wait about 5 minutes or so, and then the first thing I do is try to remove the translucent powder just from the top of my eyes here, and basically anywhere I know I'm going to put eyeshadow. And I will not be filming my eyeshadows today just because I didn't want to make this video too long, and I really want to focus on the Milani, foundation. And then normally I would go about my eye makeup routine, but for you guys today I'm going to do it a little differently, and I'm just going to dust off whatever translucent powder I have and dust it into my face, making sure it sets. This is a Heavenly Luxe brush, the Jumbo brush number 3 from IT Cosmetics. This is seriously the best brush for me ever. I won this brush forever and a day ago when IT Cosmetics was just kind of still a small company up and coming. And I fell in love with this brush as soon as they sent it to me. Thank you, IT. I will forever be grateful for this brush that you guys sent me. It is awesome. And so the next thing I want to do is just take this e.l.f. brush, which is a little bit smaller, and get in there because I feel like I still have a little bit of translucent powder in there. Okay. Now, this step's optional. Translucent powder is designed to be able to set your makeup without adding any additional tone or color unless it states that it has a tone or color in it. So it's usually supposed to appear translucent and clear. I, however, like to add continuous coverage and really amp up the color on my face. So I'm going to go in now with L'Oreal Pro Matte Infallible in Golden Beige, and I'm just going to take a flat IT Cosmetics angled brush and just use this to kind of press this powder into my pores, and avoid your under eye area or anywhere that you want it to appear lighter and brighter. This I'm just going to press, like I say, into my face, and it just adds another layer of coverage and color. And I was kind of skeptical about putting this step in here and just kind of going there, but I want to see how the Milani works with my routine that I normally do when I go out somewhere or I have an event to be at, and just see how it goes with the powders. But I think I'm also going to try filming the Milani as well with just the foundation itself and see how it holds up just on its own. But this is my routine that I would normally do, guys. Okay, so let's get into our contouring really quickly. I'm going to show you guys that while still on camera, and then finish up the rest of my face off camera. But I'm going to use my trustworthy My Sculpted Face from IT Cosmetics. You guys know this is my holy grail, and if you don't know, well, now you know. I love this, and I generally work with all 4 of the contour colors, and all 4 kind of go into my cheekbone area and down my chin, and then the 2 lighter colors I put more into the temples and across the top of my head because I don't really like it to be too dark up there unless it's an evening event. Then I'll usually go darker. So taking all 4 colors now, let's just kind of tap it out and focus most of the product a quarter of the way in, and we're going to start at the top of the ear and go right into the hollow of the cheek. And I'm not putting a whole lot of pressure too when I use the brush. I'm not pushing too hard, but I'm just kind of going a quarter of the way, kind of fluffing it upwards. And then I pull the rest down towards my mouth. Turn your brush so that it's angled now. And it actually will hug right in that crease there. And just let it hug the crease and blend it out. You should always look like you have a shadow, but you don't have a huge chunk of powder on your cheek. It should look very flawless and very finished, and just keep going and blending until you have it, nice and blended out and it doesn't look too cakey. Then again, using those same 4 colors, just do the same thing right underneath, or excuse me, right behind the ear, underneath the jawline. So if here's your jawbone, you're going to kind of focus this underneath the jaw first, going about a quarter of the way in, then pulling some of the product down now this time to create some shadow, and then taking it all the way into the chin line, and then turning your brush so that it now is sitting on the jaw and blending it right into the jaw. You can also take a little bit down the side of the neck here to add a little bit more shadow and just thin out the face. Okay, and now that we have both sides done, we're going to go into our temples. So you're just going to take your brush kind of along the hairline and into that temple area using those lighter colors now. And I like to focus the color back towards the hair so that this way we're not pulling the color down, we're kind of pulling it upward and giving just a more lifted look on the sides of the face. And then also taking this across the forehead if you have a large forehead. If you don't have a lot of forehead space, then you want to avoid this step because you're going to make your forehead look even smaller and closed in. But and then generally after I'm done using this, I like to go in with a matte bronzer because your contour colors are going to be very cool and a bronzer is warm tone. So using a warm tone bronzer, this is from NYX, the matte medium. Go in with an angled brush or any type of bronzing brush, blush brush, and you're just going to apply this now onto the actual cheekbone itself. Again, most of it about a quarter of the way in and then blend it downward. But this is just going to add more warmth and also emphasize the contour that you've just placed on there. Go right into your temples with this, right across your forehead, and then out, like actually on the jaw, not under it. Ultimately, when you contour and highlight, you want it to show different types of definition, different highlighting, different contouring, but you want it to really look blended ultimately. You don't want to step on the scene and be like, what did she do with her face? That is just wrong. But if you want to be like that, then go for it. But, you know, this is just what I find works best for me. And I feel like when it comes to highlighting and contouring, it's all just a matter of what's going to work best for you in the long run. So at this point, I'm going to start going into my eye makeup, and then I'm going to come back and show you guys my highlight and my blush and my final set. So stay tuned. Okay guys, so I went ahead and finished the rest of my eye makeup. We have some crazy long lashes going on. We have some dramatic, smoky, sexy warmness, all sorts of crazy stuff going on. But to achieve this look today, I used the Nubian 2 palette from Juvia's Place, which is one of my favorites. If you don't know, again, now you know. And my new favorite lashes that I've been working with are by Lash Me Up. And I don't know if you guys can see that. That's what they look like. But these are called the Sassy Lashes, and they're fun, they're flirty, they are draggy and sexy and fabuloso all in one. So to finish this look, we're going to go in right now and just highlight a little bit under our eyes using, again, that e.l.f. brightening powder. And I'm going to just take a little bit on a Real Techniques brush and just kind of press this real gentle where we concealed like a year and a half ago, basically. And I also like to press it in between my eyebrows, in my forehead, gently down my nose, right into my chin area, and just anywhere you want a little bit of that pop of brightness. And I kind of go on the sides of my nose too, just to snatch it a little further. I contoured out my nose as well off camera. If you guys want to see that, you can look at my previous videos, and also I can film some new stuff for you. So for blush today, one of my favorite drugstore blushes is the Milani Powder Blush in Coral Cove. And I just thought, considering we have all these pretty warm tones on our eyes, this would be a perfect color for today. So I'm going to take that on a BH brush and trying to stick with, you know, some more drugstore products. And just smile big, find that apple, and then I like to bring it up into the high point of my cheekbone and then just kind of flick it into my nose a little. I'm going to be using the Becca Cosmetics Opal Highlighter, which is one of my absolute favorites. But before we do that, I want to set my face, so I'm going to use my Slay All Day from Gerard Cosmetics and just spritz that all over. Oh, this stuff is so good. This is the coconut, and I also picked up watermelon because they had a buy one, get one. So check out Gerard Cosmetics, you guys. They're awesome. And then while this is drying on my face, I'm going to take an e.l.f. setting brush and just pop a little of this highlighter on my cheekbone. And then because we're not glowing enough yet, you guys, I'm going to take this small Sonia Kashuk brush. And this is just, I think, a lip brush maybe. I'm not even sure. It's so old, but I'm going to take this brush and just highlight the tip of my nose and the bridge to make that kind of exclamation point, exclamation point, and also the Cupid's bow. For lips today, I'm going to be using the Natural Lip Liner Pencil from NYX Cosmetics. And I'm also going to be using this really pretty color from Maybelline. This is the color Nude Sensational. This is in Warm Me Up. And it is just a gorgeous color. I don't even know. Can you guys see that? It's just a really pretty pinky nude. And I don't usually go pinky nude, but I figured for this look, since we're like nice and warm and fun and flirty, we would go pink. And I'm going to wash out my lips with a little concealer to get the lip color nice and true to its natural color. It's really, really nice. So anyway, you guys, that completes the look. And I know this was really more of just a demo and first impression of the Milani Conceal and Perfect Foundation. But I have to say, looking at my skin, looking at how it's set, it's definitely a really awesome foundation right off the bat. Definitely can be buildable to full coverage. I would say it's a little more than medium, but not quite a full coverage. It feels super light on the skin. Initially, it felt a little tacky and stuff, but once I set it with my powders, it really set just awesome. And I tend to have more like normal skin to sometimes oily combination. So so far, the fact that it's on my skin giving me a really pretty glow. It's not a super matte finish, so if you're super oily, get your good powders on, get your, you know, matte setting spray. But I did spray a little of, like I said, this Slay All Day from Gerard, and that's an awesome matte setting spray. So first impressions, I really like it. I love the finish. I love the glow. I love the color. I was really surprised that I got it on the nail this time, you guys, because sometimes I'm so worried you're going to see the line of demarcation. But I really, really like it so far. And I'm going to wear it and kind of see how it feels and stuff. And I'll check back with you guys again right before we end this video. Okay guys, so it has been a few hours and I have been wearing the foundation and I love it. It honestly has not like separated or made my skin look any bit different, discolored, nothing like that. I really like the finish still and it feels super comfortable. And I actually put this foundation on late. So I didn't even have it on like first thing in the morning, and my skin had been kind of oily when I applied it. So considering that like I didn't have my skin like fresh out of the shower and my skin was a little oily and stuff and all that good stuff, like it really is sitting nicely on my skin. I like a little bit more glow and oil to my skin, so I imagine if you set this with powders and mattifying products, it would work just as good if you don't like oily, glowy skin. But for a drugstore product, I am really, really impressed, and I definitely think I'm going to be playing around with it more and trying to see, you know, how it works for me. But so far so good, and I'm going to give a thumbs up for Milani Perfect and Conceal Foundation and Concealer 2-in-1. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And if there's anything else you would like to see, just comment down below and I will make sure that I read your comments. And I'll also list the products that I used and all that fun stuff. But again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you again soon.